A pundit by the name of Gorka said that the reason the president wasn't liked is because he was an alpha. The president is not an alpha. The president doesn't even know what an alpha is. Neither does Gorka. Most people who use the term in the sense of describing a tough guy don't know what an alpha is. The idea, the myth that exists in popular culture about an alpha, that came from a study of wolves. It was popularized in the United States in the 1960s by a guy named Beau, who relied heavily on research from an older researcher, a German guy, I can't remember his name. The problem is, all of that research was done on wolves in captivity, in zoos. So the image of an alpha that most people have is what occurs when an animal is confined, scared, thrown into a habitat with strangers, unsure that they're going to have enough to eat, putting up a front because they're terrified. That's what many alphas of today are striving for, to emulate the behavior that comes from being terrified. Beau went on to study wolves in the wild. He felt so bad about how he cast wolves in that first book, he asked the publisher to stop printing it. And it was selling incredibly well. Asked him to stop printing it. Spent 10 years of his life trying to correct the misinformation that he unintentionally helped spread. A wolf in the wild, an alpha in the wild, a free alpha, is an entirely different animal. You think about the myth, this commanding, dominating, aggressive, violent, takes whatever he wants, concerned about himself. That's the myth. That's not reality. That myth has been debunked for decades, but it endures. Why? Why does that endure? For the same reason Trump's popularity endures among some groups. It gives them a reason to be their worst. It gives them a justification to act in the most self-serving and immoral, unethical ways. Well, that's how wolves act in the wild. It's just nature. No, it's actually not. The president said it's okay, so it's okay. No, that's not what it means. An alpha in the wild, yeah, they're a leader, but they're not commanding. They lead by example. Yeah, they are aggressive, they are assertive, but they're not violent for no reason. A lot of the snarling you see around mealtime, that's the alpha telling some of the wolves, well, don't eat it all, there's other members of the pack. The alpha's definitely not self-serving. His entire mission, his entire purpose for being is to care for his pack, to care for his community. I think American masculinity would be better served trying to be a free alpha rather than a terrified animal in a cage.